Welcome to the Kade Wilcox podcast. I'm Kade Wilcox, your host, and I love small business. I love the leaders who lead small businesses. I love the journey of starting a new company and figuring out how to manage people and culture and vision and operations and finances and sales and marketing. And so on our podcast, we feature local small business owners and we learn from them what's going well, what's not going well, things they've learned throughout their journey. So thanks for joining the podcast and enjoy learning from others who are in the trenches and doing the work. Jeremy, thanks so much for joining my podcast. You've been a good friend for a while now, and I'm a customer of yours. And so it's fun for me to host you on the podcast. And I'm excited for others who listen to our podcast to get to know you a little bit and also learn from your kind of unique role at HC Thrash. So for those who don't know Jeremy Hamilton, they don't know who HC Thrash is, why don't you give a little bit about your background and tell us about you and your family?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, and thanks for inviting me. So, I'm Jeremy Hamilton. I grew up in Idlewild, Texas, West Texas boy. Moved away for a year. Tech roots, brought me back here. And I've been in the clothing business since I was 19 years old. So I've been doing it a long time. Been at HC Thrash, which is a locally owned men's store, since 2009. So my last couple of years in college, and then stayed on full time since then. And we truly are a men's only store. Not to say women can't come in and shop, but this is exclusively men's, from sportswear to tuxedos. We sell everything, and so it's fun to be a part of our customers' lives and events, and just create friendships and be a part of a special group of people. And so it's been a lot of fun.
Our audience for this podcast is small business owners, men and women who started their businesses, running their businesses, they're in the trenches, and they're doing the hard work of running their company and growing it. I'm wondering what you would say to someone like that about why image, and I don't mean a vain image, right? Like, I don't mean an ego, but like, why would image, or maybe a better way to say it, presentation, why would that matter, regardless of whether it's a professional like legal or accounting or finance, or if it's a carpet cleaning company or a service-oriented company? Like, why do you think after 15 years of being in this type of business, presentation matters regardless of whether you're a teacher or whatever your role is? Like, why would presentation matter in your humble opinion 15 years into being in the men's clothing business?
Yeah, it's so, I'm going to answer this and try to word it in a way that doesn't sound self-serving, because no matter how I word this, it kind of will. But I know in my heart of hearts, and I know humanity, and our humanity is, right or wrong, we judge people by the way that they appear, the way that they speak, or the way that just the moment we come in contact with somebody, we make a judgment. And the more put together, the more you seem like you've got it together, the more people will trust you and follow you. And I tell this story to anybody, who comes in the store and will listen to me pontificate for a little bit. But just an example of that, we were in New York and flying back, and I was in the airport. I was young, this was TSA pre-check had just started, but Howard and I were in New York. He had already gone through security. I'm standing in general boarding, but I have a suit on, and a TSA agent comes and grabs me and pulls me up through pre-check, and I get to skip all the line. And I'm like, what in the heck just happened? Well, it's because, in my opinion, it's because of the way I was dressed. It made a difference. I didn't have my pajamas on. I didn't look like, I just looked like I had it together. So, a saying we have at the stores, it's easier to get where you're going if you dress like you're already there, right? And so if you aspire to be the CEO, appear like you're the CEO. whether that's in the way you speak, whether that's in the way you lead, whether that's in the way you dress, it makes a difference. You hear athletes talk about, look good, feel good, play good, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's true. And the better you feel and the more serious you take yourself, the more serious you'll take your business. For the most part, Howard and I think a lot alike. And so we can run things by each other and we're sounding boards, but there's a lot of times that you have to know when the time is right to speak up and when it's time to sit back and let the CEO, let the president make the final decisions. And so, the buying part of that can be a challenge sometimes. I want to push in one direction. He's got a vision just like I do for what we're doing for the store, and his vision may be separate from mine. And so it's just kind of knowing the give and take of when to push and when not to push, and when to trust that he knows where we're going.
What's one of your favorite things about working alongside of Howard and growing this company together? Like, what are some of the things that you really enjoy about the journey or the process?
The fun part for me is watching the relationship develop and getting to really be impactful in people's lives. I get to be a part of people's weddings. I get to be a part of people's big celebrations, big monumental things of their lives that they need to get outfitted for. And I get to be a part of that. In today's world where it's so easy just to click a mouse and get something delivered to you, how do we combat that? And so, it's we're just thinking of ways we can do business differently. But if we outservice people, companies, whoever, if we do what we know we're good at doing and we do it very well, the business will take care of itself. It doesn't just stop at the cash register. And I think a lot of times for a lot of companies, that's it. It stops at the register, and you've got to, that's when the work starts. To me, when you buy something that needs to go to the tailor shop and you get it tailored faster than what you promised, and you call them and you deliver it, or that's when the work starts, and it can't just stop at the register. The community that we live in, they genuinely care about our success. And so it's cool to walk alongside leaders of our city, leaders of our community in West Texas, and just impact people's lives. But to do that in a way that is with humility and being able to listen to somebody else's point of view.
That's really good. Man, thanks so much. This is really good. I was really excited about this just because it comes from a different perspective, given yours and Howard's partnership. So thank you so much for the insights that you've shared and for joining the podcast.